Hi, my name is Russell Lucas. I'm from Portsmouth in the south of England, and this is my story. So my life as a carpenter, self-employed, was hard because you had to work hard, and by working hard, you had to get jobs finished on time. And then would it involve taking cocaine because then the coke would get you going, it would keep you going, and you'd get the jobs done, and then you would have at the end of the working day have a few beers on the way home from work, and then when I'd get home I'd have a few more beers, get changed, and then go to the pub and have a few more beers. And that really was my life, day after day. Always up early the next day, grafting, working hard. But that was because I was taking a drug that keeps you going. My food patterns were bad. I was eating rubbish. The drink really got hold of me. I wouldn't say I was an alcoholic in respect to where I needed a drink. I just enjoyed having a drink. But that brought its own downfall in a way because then I'd be drinking weekends. My word, weekends would be a lot of drink, a lot of drugs. And it got to a point where I started falling over. I was, I went to the pub one night. I'd been at work, out in the cold all day. Had a shower. Went to the pub. I had 3 pints of Peroni. I had 2 gin and tonics and a big fat line of cocaine. And then went to the co-op to get something to eat. Walked home, and as I walked home, I kept on walking faster and faster and blacked out. Ended up walking into my neighbour's house and smashed my nose up. Real bad, real bad. Um, Put me out on the floor, taken to hospital. And this is how my life was going, which isn't good. And it was a steady decline, like that, drink, drugs, repeat itself. And do you know what? I never thought I was addicted. People would say to me, "You got an addiction there, boy," and I go, "No, I haven't. I'm in control of it. I know what I'm doing. I like to have a drink. I like to have a line. Get in the van first thing in the morning, do it. Lunchtime, tea time, and then supper time, and then go to Fratton Park, have one, drink whiskey." I walked into the Milton end at Fratton Park, offering people out. Do you know what I mean? And that's the drug. That's what the drug does. It makes you feel 10 foot tall. It makes you feel like a king. It makes you feel, but really, it's horrible. It is horrible. It's not good. Looking back, at the time, it was brilliant. I loved it. I really enjoyed it, and I was happy. And I use that word very loosely. I was happy. I had a good laugh. Looking back, there was good fun times at times, but the horrible times far outweighed the good times. I can assure you of that. It was um, it was hard work. It was hard work, and then my life was just spiraling downwards. It was just the same thing, weekend after weekend after weekend. The weekends, you can imagine, on a Friday afternoon, it would be maybe 4 cans of Peroni after work on the job, and then go to a pub and have 3 pints maybe, and then get home, come home, get changed, and then go down the pub, have a couple of beers, then go to the shop and buy some beers, and pick up your gear, come home and smack it down and use up music on to 4 or 3 in the morning, every Friday night, every Saturday night, every Sunday afternoon, and still go to work. I don't know how. Well, I do know how. It was the drug. This is what drugs do to you, and this is why it's so bad. I wish I'd realised how bad it would have made me. and I would never have taken it in the first place. So, as a young boy, aged 10, I experienced something very nasty that no boy or girl for that matter wants to experience. And after it happened, I ended up in a church, which was surprising because I don't actually I'm from a non-Christian background. My parents never went to church, I never went to church, but I ended up in a church. And I sat in that church just looking up at Jesus on the cross, the stained glass window, and I can't remember what I was saying now, but I remember talking to Jesus, talking to him a lot. I remember asking why should this have to happen? And sat there for some time. I remember that. And left, and that was it. That was when I first spoke to Jesus. And then moving on in my life, becoming a carpenter, going through my life, early 2000s, I coached football, Portsmouth Ladies Football Club, and was asked to help out with a society called Faith in Football, and I was asked to help out with the football coaching because I'm a level 2 coach, and I did help out children in deprived areas, and it was lovely. I really enjoyed it, and I met some very, very good people, very special people to me, and they gave me a Bible, this one here. They gave me this Bible in 2006, and I read it for 6-7 months, and then I put it down. I read that Bible and put it down after 6 or 7 months, and carried on my life as it went on. And I wish I hadn't now. I wish I'd read it more and come to Jesus properly then, but I didn't. So then anyway, we're fast forward now, many years, till 2023, okay? I was working on a roof, and the roof gave way. The roof, it was rotten. I stepped over, and it gave way. Now I should have gone straight down. Gravity deems that you go straight down. Somehow I fell backwards, but it was almost as if I twisted round and went down that way to the wall, and I was hanging by my armpit on a bit of timber and my left buttock on a bit of brick that was sticking out, and I was hanging there looking down at a 25 feet drop down to a flight of stairs, which I wouldn't have survived. No way would I have survived it. And one of the lads that was working with me, there was 2 lads working with me at the time, one ran across the ceiling joists and got to me and got my leg and lifted it up and held it, and the other lad got round, and between them they got me up. And I just feel, looking back now, if anyone was to say to me, when did you first encounter Jesus? That was it. That man saved my life that day. Looking back, he saved my life because he wants me to do his work. Because then in January, February, I was at a very, very low ebb, very, very low ebb indeed. There was no work at the time, and what happened when I was 10 had come to the fore, and it really affected me, and I was in a bad place. One day, I've written down in the Bible, I think on my phone, on a TikTok page, it just flashed up on my phone, and it said, God knows you're tired, God knows it's difficult, but you must also know that God would never place you in a situation you can't handle. Now, that was on 19th of February 2024. Where did that come from? And then in April, the end of the April, I decided I want to go to church. I just felt like I had to get it out. I opened up my door, I walked out of this house, and I walked to a church that I know Jesus had hold of my hand like a child and took me past one church, 2 churches, to a 3rd church you can't even see from the road. I didn't know where I was going, and I went into that church and I met my mentor, who's my mentor today, and he took me to a dinner, and I met the people who gave me this Bible 18 years ago. If I hadn't gone to that church, I'd never have seen them. And they are now my mentors, making me the person I am today. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. So the difference Jesus has made to my life, I've got to say, has been nothing short of a miracle. Because he single-handedly has stopped me from drinking almost overnight. He has stopped me doing cocaine. He says, give me a life now, which I find is one of joy, pure happiness and joy in my heart. A life where I'm just, every day is like a new awakening. You know, when I was 3 weeks into going to church, I was walking around the mill pond near where I live, and I was asking the Lord, please don't let me leave this path. I was given that Bible back in 2006 and read it for 6 months and put it down. Now I can't even put the Bible down, eh? But as I was doing that, I was walking around saying, don't let me leave this path, please don't leave me. And with that, I had this tingling going right across my shoulders and down my spine. And I remember looking up to the heavens going, you'll give me a hug, ain't you? You're hugging me, proper. Anyway, I walked on a bit further and thought, don't be silly, Russ. It's just a hot flush or something. Anyway, walked on round, met my vicar of 3 weeks, and I told him what happened. And he said, no, Russell, that is the Holy Spirit entering your body. You've been accepted by the Lord. And it just blew me away. So much so that then I've gone through my career in the church, was baptised in the August in the sea. That was cold, but it was beautiful. I felt warm with everybody that was there, the love that I felt from the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit is properly in me. He's given me the gift of being able to talk in tongues, and I just find that incredible. To begin with, I thought I was talking a load of old rubbish, but then very slowly I realised this is a gift that he's given me, and I feel like I'm properly got a hotline to God, and it's so wonderful. Then I was confirmed in the December, which was lovely, by the Bishop of Portsmouth. Then in the January I went to an evangelist's conference, saw J. John, and it was brilliant. It was really, really, I learned, I just got this voracious appetite to learn about Jesus, to learn about everything. I read this Bible, the Bible, all the time. It's just so lovely. I'm on an Alpha course. I go to home group. And people say to me, what does God do for you? What doesn't he do for me? It is beautiful. It really is beautiful. And not only on top of this as well, being able to talk to people and people listen. And I've been asked to pray. And I've got to say very, very quickly, there's a girl that I met over here who lives in Australia, and she asked me to pray for her sister. And her sister has cancer, and she was told they can do nothing for her. This was on a Monday, and within 2 weeks, that girl's hair is growing back. She's been out, she's back on social media, which is amazing because she's 24 years of age, and that means a lot to her. She's been out fishing. That's since everybody's been praying for her. I told everybody that I know in the church, and so many people have been praying for her. And it's amazing, the power of prayer is just beautiful. And I feel like the Lord has given me a gift to evangelise, to go out and speak to people and tell them about the Lord, and that's what I like doing. I find it absolutely beautiful. Everything about it is beautiful. The good Lord is he's just amazing, and I think the world of it. I really do. So you've now heard my story, and you may be wondering to yourself, what can Jesus do for me? Well, I'll tell you now, Jesus can do so much. Whether you're good, whether you're bad, you just have to open that door to your heart and let him in, because he's got a plan for you. Once you've let him into your life, he would change it, I tell you now, because he changed my life tenfold. It was beautiful what he done to me, and that's all you have to do. Let the man into your life. You've got nothing to lose. He can give you love. He'll take your expectations to a different level. Nothing that on this earth can match what He can give us. It's absolutely amazing. And as I say, whatever you've got to do is just let Him into your